Hi. Good morning.
/ good evening there.
Good evening. I don't have any earrings on. Just a second. Put some earrings on. I got my drawer right here. There. Now I feel a little bit more put together. Hope you guys are having a good evening. We wanted to come on here and just do a little live video on Facebook, which I don't think we've done them on my personal wall, but we haven't done them on here on our Boyd's Meat World since we're shifting videos here. I know some of you guys aren't haven't been able to watch the videos, and so we wanted to make sure they were here on Facebook as well. And so we wanted to do a little live video and welcome you to following us. We're going to be updating this page with all of our videos that we've posted so far on YouTube. We will still continue to post on YouTube. But yeah, we're going to talk about some of the things that have been culture shocks to us here in Hong Kong. And by culture shocks, we mean like things that have been a little weird or a little different.
Just some interesting observations that we've noticed since being here.
Yes. Nothing really too shocking. Some of it maybe, but some surprises that we've had. So, being from North Texas, a lot of this could actually be attributed to the fact that we're not used to living in the city. Hey, Natalie.
Natalie, hey.
So we're not used to living in the city. We're from the suburbs, and we grew up in small town. So, so a lot of this could be any major city. We don't know because it's the only major city that we've actually lived in the middle of. But, anyways, what do you want to start with?
Well, so I've got a whole list of things here, and so I would say some things that I noticed. First of all, is there's a lot of smoking here.
Yeah, a lot of smokers.
A lot of smoker. Hey, Nicole.
It could be a statistical thing because there's more people.
Yeah.
And so maybe there's not more smokers in Hong Kong than there are in the U.S.
Hey, Dad.
But there are lots of smokers. And so anytime you go by a trash can, you hold your breath. So the air quality here is, most people know that Hong Kong doesn't have the greatest air quality, especially when the air shifts from the north, because there's some major cities just across the border in the mainland that have factories and things like that. And so, so anyways, when the wind shifts south, toward the south, then the air quality is not great. But then you also have the smokers. The first week I was here, I told Jason, it feels like when you go to a bowling alley or a bar or someplace where there's a lot of smoke, like I felt like that for the first week. So lots of smokers.
Yes.
That was our first big, oh, that's interesting.
Yes. One other thing that we've come across, this is really frustrating since coming from the U.S., is there's not a lot of places, well, let me say I don't want to say there's not a lot of places because there are, but there's not as many places as you would think that accept a credit card as payment or debit card. A lot of places, even when you look at it and it's a nice looking restaurant, hey Dad, love y'all too. It's a nice looking restaurant. You have to make sure you look for the Visa or MasterCard logo to make sure that they take debit card or credit card, because there's been times where we've walked in like what would probably be like a fast food place, and it's a nice fast food place. It's not like, you know, some hole in the wall, because they have computers that they're typing their order in and everything. And I'm like, okay, here's my credit card, and they're like, no, cash only. And we're like, oh, okay. So we've really had to learn to carry cash, which has been a pain because we never carry cash in the States. We always did everything by debit card. So that's been something we've tried to figure out. And every time I go to a restaurant, I'm like, okay, let's look and make sure that they have the Visa logo on the front door before going in.
Yeah, or that make sure we have enough cash on it.
Or make sure we have enough cash, which we normally don't, because just carrying cash is a very, I don't know.
It's a pain.
It is
a
pain.
Okay, so, and this is unique to Hong Kong. I know this because when I visit Singapore, card only in Singapore. Like, you can get away with just your card in Singapore. And in the mainland in China, everybody uses WeChat, so they don't carry cash. In fact, we met a mainland Chinese this week, and she was saying, I don't ever have cash on me. And so she was dealing with the same thing we were. So this is very unique to Hong Kong. I'm not really sure why, but most places, well, it's about half and half probably. 50-50 places have to have cash. So
yes.
What else?
I have bakeries on here, so there are bakeries literally on every single corner. There's so many bakeries just sharing selling baked goods.
Yeah, and it's not just like, okay, like our donut shops. They don't have donut shops here. Occasionally you can find a bakery that has donuts.
Yeah.
But they're like coffee shops or something. Just everywhere there's bakeries, and they're very. There's a lot of variety in what they offer.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll have kolache type things. They'll have
Yeah.
the cream buns. If you guys watch our video, if you've been keeping up with our videos, you know that.
Yeah.
Like Noelle loves the cream buns and
The red bean buns.
oh, red bean buns. Noelle's not like red bean things.
We haven't been eating those, no. But yeah, they have a lot of different pineapple buns, so really
Pineapple
good.
buns.
Cream buns, like you said. But yeah, tons of bakeries everywhere, and yeah, so
That's a big thing.
Yes.
What else?
Bubble tea. We've talked about bubble tea and
Yes.
how awesome it is.
We love bubble tea. So the milk tea here is a really big deal. Just this was a British colony, so they like tea, and they really like milk tea, and so now they like bubble milk tea. I don't know. It's like we liked bubble tea in the U.S. Titus and I did.
Yeah.
But Jason and Noelle have learned to love it here.
Well, so they have this special seasonal drink called brown sugar milk. And I think it's seasonal like pumpkin spice is seasonal to Starbucks. And so we're going to be very sad when that goes away because it's only there for a limited time. But it's here now, and so we're taking advantage.
I don't think there's any tea in that, though. I think it's like literally like a brown sugar syrup and a little bit of milk and a lot of whipped cream.
Yeah. And some bubbles. And it's really good. And it's probably not good for you, but I don't care. It tastes amazing.
So these are almost... Well, they do have a lot of coffee shops here, so I don't want to make it sound like coffee isn't a thing here, because it is. But they have more bubble tea places than coffee shops. So you can find a bubble, and there's a lot of different chains, and some of them are very popular. There's always a line outside of them. We're finding our favorites, and so bubble tea is a big thing. So if you come, we will make sure you get some bubble tea.
There you go. So a lot of guys who are dads get the workout in because they all have the baby... What are they called?
The carriers.
Baby Bjorn, the baby carriers.
Yeah, that's a brand. But there's lots of different. Yeah,
exactly. Because most people don't do strollers because you either got to take the bus or you got to take the public transportation, and strollers are just a pain. So a lot of guys got one baby strapped on one side, another baby strapped on the back. Maybe mom's carrying a baby, so they have. They
carry their kids. They're really, for as many people as you see, you don't see a lot of strollers and you don't see a lot of wheelchairs. I don't know if that was on the list separately,
so.
But like mobility is a big thing. I couldn't imagine trying, and there's usually a long wait for the elevators because everything's built up here. Your malls will be like 20 floors high, and so you want to go to the 11th floor. You might have to take the escalator. They do have escalators that skip floors, like it'll go up 3 floors or whatever. But elevators, there's usually a long wait. I just couldn't imagine trying to navigate with a stroller or a wheelchair. It's not. It would be a major pain. And so so people carry their kids. Baby wearing is just a part of life here. When we went to Disneyland, not a lot of strollers.
No.
And
people rent strollers there.
Yeah.
But not a lot of your own strollers.
But even then, I remember when we went to Disney World, there was like stroller parking. There would just be parking lots full of strollers, and you don't see nearly as many.
Not nearly
here.
as many. Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Not a lot of pets.
Not a lot of pets. You do see them. A lot of places won't allow you to have a pet, and then you're in a small space. It's hard to have a pet.
Yeah.
Some people have cats, I guess.
Yeah.
We don't take those out for a walk.
Exactly, but we've seen some dogs out on a walk, not on a leash.
Not on a leash. Right here in Causeway Bay, which if you watch our last video, you know how busy this area is. And there's a golden retriever that somebody has nearby because I'll see it walking around. And I'm not sure who the owner is, but you can tell they have an owner somewhere nearby, but not on a leash. There's buses going by really fast, and things like that. Mostly small dogs, though, when you do see dogs. And Noelle has this face that she makes. Anytime she sees a dog, it's like, ah! And it scares people, but she's like really excited to see the dogs.
What else? Public transportation has been
Yes.
amazing. We absolutely love the public transportation. Taking the train is so convenient, easy. We were a little intimidated by the bus system, but I think that's easier now because of the City Mapper app. So we have an app.
Right.
It tells you exactly which bus to take, what the bus number is, where to get on that bus, where it drops you off. It's so super convenient. So whenever you want to get somewhere, you just type in where you want to go. It'll tell you, okay, you need to get on this train and then take this bus, or get on this bus to get to this train, whatever. Super, super easy and convenient and cheap.
So no matter what city you're going to, download the City Mapper app, and because I think it works for every major city.
Yeah.
So I don't know how people did this before smartphones. That's what I don't know.
I have no idea.
Just memorize bus schedules, I guess.
Okay, here's one that I noticed immediately right off. Whenever you hand somebody a credit card, they always receive it with both hands.
Both hands. And then they give it back to you.
And they give it back to you with both hands. And it's not just credit cards, but that's what I noticed it with. But they're very, very polite, I would say, in just how they receive something from you and then hand it back. Like, they always use both hands, no matter how small the item is. Like a receipt from the grocery store, they hand it to you with both hands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I noticed that when we were here very quickly, and I just thought that was.
I'm getting trying to do it, like where I hand it to them with both hands, because I feel like I'm kind of like blasé. Here you go.
No, but I don't know. I just thought that was really super interesting.
The cars. Did you talk about the cars?
I haven't talked about cars. Driving here is a luxury for sure.
Yes.
You see only high-end cars, Teslas, Mercedes. It is not uncommon to see a Lamborghini, a Maserati, a Porsche, anything to just go flying down the street. Those are very common here. Lots of wealth here, and only the wealthy drive. And it's because cars are taxed at such a high rate. I actually looked it up, and it was like if you're getting a Lamborghini, maybe something that's like a $500,000 US car, you're probably paying close to double for that car because of the higher your tax on it. So driving, only the wealthy are going to be driving. I mean, sometimes we see like a Nissan, and we're like, oh, who's this common passing by?
Toyota.
Well, yeah.
They have a Toyota van here that we like.
There are. Yeah, if you have a large family, then you're gonna have this van. It's a Toyota. I forget what it's called, but we see them all over the place, and they're only white and black colors. But
those are the only ones we've seen.
Those are the only ones. Oh, yeah, but we've seen quite.
I think a lot of the Ubers are this like Toyota van
a lot of the Ubers are this van, and the Go-Go vans. But yeah, if you're driving a car, then you're doing pretty well. Like I said, Teslas, Mercedes, tons of BMWs, tons of Porsches. I mean, Lamborghinis is not an uncommon sight here on the road, so it's a lot of.
I'm making sure we see any comments. So
it's very interesting.
Well, and the thing is that it's really most of the time it's faster to take the train.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
The traffic here is so awful, and the parking is very, very limited. That really walking. Sometimes walking is faster than taking a train, and ding ding. I mean, just depending on where you're going. If it's in Causeway Bay, we're gonna walk there.
Yes.
I
mean, we walk. We obviously. I haven't driven a car since we've been here. We're not getting a car. I mean, the bus and the trains and walking take us everywhere we need to go. So
yeah, and if it doesn't, we'll get an Uber.
That's right. We've only done that one time.
We have only done, and then we realized, hey, we could have taken this bus to
get
here.
It was been a lot easier.
Been a lot cheaper.
Okay, let's see. Something I've noticed: escalators and walking. So if you're taking an escalator, if you just want to ride the escalator, you better get on the right-hand side, because people who want to just walk up and are in a hurry, they're going to be taking the left-hand side, and if you're in their way, they're going to let you know. They're going to say, excuse me, please, excuse me, and you're going to need to move over. So if you're going up an escalator, get on the right side if you want to just chill out. So that's riding an escalator, but walking, there's no rhyme or reason to which side of the street to walk on, or which side of the walkway, because it's just a free-for-all. it's like you're just dodging left and right, just crowds of people. I get very frustrated because, you know, in the U.S. you think, okay, like driving, you want to walk on the right side and they walk on your left side. And it's just not that way here. It's all over the place.
I have a theory on this. So in Singapore, it's the opposite. If you want to stand on the escalator, you stand on the left-hand side, and people walk up the right. They actually have signs like direct you to this in Singapore. Here, it's more of just everybody everybody just stands on the right-hand side, and people walk up on the left. Well, here, this was a British colony, so they drive on the left-hand side of the road here. Mm-hmm. But in mainland China, they drive on the right-hand side of the road. So here, especially in this area, we have a lot of tourists. You have a lot of people coming from mainland. You have a lot of Westerners that, you know, are used to being on the right. So that's why I think there's not a system, because I think you got such a mix of people that don't drive necessarily, that everybody just walks wherever. You fit in where you can.
And you would think with walking that in being such a busy place that people would be in a hurry, or at least walk at a faster pace. No, that doesn't happen. Everybody walks like this with their phone in their face. I mean, I walked past a guy, he's just kind of going like this, literally. And we walk by, I'm trying to get around him, and people are coming this way, and we finally get around him, I look at his phone, he's playing some stupid game. He's playing a stupid game on his phone, face down, not paying any attention, walking like one little step at a time.
The epitome of the slow driver.
Dude, it's very frustrating. Maybe we just walk faster than other people. Maybe we're always in a hurry because whenever we're going somewhere, we're going to go somewhere, and people are just walking around enjoying their day. I don't know, but
I am a fast walker, and I feel like people in Singapore are pretty fast walkers. And here it just depends. But it does get very crowded at certain times of the day. We cannot, and we tell the kids had to learn early on, like, we can't walk 4 across. Like, you can't do that. You have to hold somebody's hand, and then
2 by 2,
2 by 2, or in a straight line, you know. Yeah. But there is no walking 4 people across. It doesn't work here.
No. Yes. I put on here on my list watches. There are watch shops like the bakeries
everywhere,
every corner, and they're nice watches too. Yes. You'll see Rolex. You'll see the price like 58,000 Hong Kong, which
it's
is
almost
probably
$1,000.
Huh?
It's almost $1,000.
58,000.
Oh, 58,000.
Which is probably almost. Yeah, if you move the decimal and add a few percentages, it's probably close to 7,000 or 8,000 US. So yeah, watches are everywhere, and it's almost like a status symbol here. Like, I stopped wearing my watch for a long time in the US just because I always had my phone with me. I was never using it to actually check the time. It got a bit loose, so I kind of didn't like how it was on my arm. But then I brought it just if I wanted to bring it, just in case here. And I'm like, okay, everybody's wearing a watch here. Maybe I'll start wearing my watch. I don't know.
There's a watch on every... Yes. Yeah, and there's a watch shop and a bakery on every corner. And a bubble tea place on every corner.
And then instead of Starbucks, the big coffee here is Pacific Coffee.
Pacific Coffee, yes.
There are Starbucks, but not as prevalent. I mean, you can still, there's Starbucks right by us if we wanted to go.
Right.
But there's also Pacific Coffee that we see more prevalently here.
Yeah, and it's similar to Starbucks. It's
yeah, exactly.
Has a lot of the same kinds of things.
Okay. Oh, I just tapped the wrong one. I wanted to get the stamps from the grocery store. We got a whole bunch of
yes.
Hold on.
So somebody was actually telling me this is like back in the day when they had the green stamps. For those of you that remember that, when you went to the grocery store, well, they still love stamps here. Or I think the green stamps, maybe they were for cigarettes or something. I don't remember. But they have an equivalency here. Which, did you find them?
I found a thing, but I had a thing of stamps from the grocery store.
Oh, I may have put it on there if I saw it.
Oh, okay. So we go to Welcome Grocery Store. And so every time you check out and you pay, you'll get a little thing of so many stamps. I guess it's based on how much you spend. And so you get this little piece of paper, and then if you can see right here, you just put the stamps on until you fill it up to, 105 or so. and then you can get another sheet and just continue to fill that up, and you get, I guess this is backwards, so sorry, but you can, by getting so many stamps, you can redeem for free pots and free pans.
Or
and free...
discounted, because I think you still have to pay.
You
look at it, like you get 120, you get to buy this for like $10 or something.
Yeah, so like, this, it costs 500 stamps, or you can do 250 stamps and pay $369, which is probably close to 50 US, 45-ish US.
So you can get them for free.
You can get them for free if you get enough stamps. And there's a lady that stays outside that grocery store, looking through the window, waiting for people, probably Westerners, to come out, and she asks for your stamps. She targeted us the first time, but she knows, hey, we're collecting our own stamps, okay, lady? Don't take our stamps. We're collecting our own.
Although we've agreed that if we decide we're not going to use these, we're just going to go find her and give them all to her.
There's a whole book of several stamps that we've collected.
Because I don't know that we're ever going to use these little pots.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll redeem one just so I can say, I got something. But then after that, I'll always
AJC, hey Candy.
Yeah. So, okay.
So that's been very interesting.
Yes, you can have Nutella. You can come say hi.
Okay.
This is
Noelle
just
is here
is getting her breakfast.
with her crazy hair and doing her homework.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful hair. Okay, love you. Okay, here's, what did I... Oh, yes, calling waiters. We've talked about this before. Waiters don't just come to you naturally like they do in the U.S. You have to call for them. You don't tip here because there's already a 10% service charge included in every meal you get, unless it's like fast food or something like that. But if you're at a restaurant, there's going to be a 10% service charge, so you don't have to tip. But that means that the waiters don't have to really work to earn a tip.
Well, it's just a cultural thing. It's not like they're all rude and don't care. It's really just they just wait for you to let them know when you need something.
They don't just naturally come by and fill up your water.
No.
They don't ask if you want anything more. That's another
They don't
frustrating
upsell
thing.
anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
And this isn't just restaurants.
No, we went to the gym. I was wanting to know about classes and upsell. And the guy seemed hesitant to give me the information. I'm like,
bare bones
tell me all the options and how much all of them cost, and then I'll make the decision. But it was like, we'll talk about that later. I was like, no, I want to know now.
And ordering at restaurants is frustrating because it's like they're not used to everybody getting their own individual meal. Like we'll say, okay, we want this and this. And then and then they start walking. I'm like, wait, no,
we're not done.
These people want when Tracy and Mike were here, and we had lunch with them.
Oh yes.
There was 7 of us in total, including our kids, and so we ordered a set of 4 for me, you, and our kids. And then the guy walks off, and Mike was like, "Hey, wait, no, we're still going to order."
3 other people here.
It's like people don't want to allow you to get more. Like ordering bubble tea at the place in Times Square at Share Tea, I would order 4 drinks. I would go to order 4 drinks, and I would say, okay, I want this. And they go, okay, that'll be this much. I'm like, wait, no, I've got another one. Okay, I'll order the, okay, no, okay, that's going to be this much. I'm like, I've got 4 drinks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see 4 people standing here? 1, 2, 3, 4 drinks. Allow me to get through all my drinks orders before telling you.
It might be easier to just have go 2 by 2, or give the kids their money and let them order individually because
it's so frustrating.
Well, and because there's so many people, they're always in a hurry. So when it comes to things like Share Tea, they're like, okay, this isn't now next, and fast food places. So we actually had a waitress the other day that stood over our shoulder while we were waiting to order, and I felt very rushed. I was like, we didn't wave you over here. What are you doing? And so we're getting used. Hi, Jeremy.
Raina, what's going on, man?
So it's funny how quickly you get used to a different way of being. And so, because I told Jason that, I said, I wonder if when people go to the U.S., if they feel really pressured and rushed by our waitresses.
Yeah.
Because they're always like, can I get you anything else? What do you need? How about something to drink? And they're like, just leave me alone. It's probably what they're thinking. Anyways, I felt a little bit of that this week.
Yeah, absolutely. What else? Skinny pants. Lots of skinny pants here. I see, and I'm like, maybe I should try skinny pants.
Let me see.
But I tried some on at there's an H&M literally right around the corner by us, and I'm like, okay, no, I can't do the skinny pants. I don't care how in style they are here. It's just not for me. It's too tight. Too tight.
But it doesn't matter the age.
Oh no, it doesn't matter the age at all.
Everybody,
lots of guys
wear
with the skinny pants.
It's not always skinny. It's like just more of the slim cut,
Yeah.
and everything is short, like rolled up.
Yes.
Shorter than
rolled
pants and showing some of your ankle. Like that's very, very.
Yeah, it's a pretty trendy, stylish place. I mean, you'll see maybe some older people just in some, normal garb or something, but a lot of the younger people are very much
express themselves with their clothing.
They're very stylish, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe not my style, but they obviously have a particular style.
Yes.
Roll pin.
No, okay, the 90s
so
are
talk
bad.
about the 90s, yes.
Okay, and this is probably true in the U.S. too, because I remember talking about this before. But Nicole, okay, I walked through H&M yesterday, and I told Jason, I was like, corduroy overalls. Oh my goodness, I wore corduroy overalls in middle school with a tank top and flannel shirts and Doc Martens. Like all of this stuff is like, oh my goodness, the 90s are back. But I know that's pretty much like that would be any H&M, not just
probably yes.
And I've only shopped. I've heard horror stories of like shopping here because the sizing is different, and so to save my vanity, I have only tried things on at Gap and H&M. Well, I haven't even tried anything on H&M, but that's my plan, is to stick to those two stores because the sizes are the same.
There you go.
And I don't want to hurt my vanity and, be an extra large here.
So, excuse me, here's one thing that I noticed right off the bat, and that was the language.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody speaks English, which is great. We've had no issues at all communicating with anybody, and I've gotten to the point where I feel so bad that I only know English.
Yeah.
I feel like all the signs are Cantonese and English, or just only English. Like in H&M, everything's English. In Gap, everything's English. In the mall, all the stores, pretty much everything is English. And I'm starting to feel really guilty about it, that we only know English, and we almost feel
the rest of the world caters to us.
We feel like we're being catered to,
yeah.
And I feel really bad about that, and it's really inspired me to try to learn another language, and I've been working on my Spanish, and I'm going to learn Spanish one of these days, I promise, and get better at it, but I feel very bad about it. I mean, I don't know what to say. Well, I'm sorry to everybody that doesn't speak English natively, that learned English and now knows two languages just because that's how your country is. Congratulations. I wish, maybe another language was more prevalent in the U.S.
It is prevalent, especially in Texas, but we force everybody to cater to English.
Yeah.
We don't cater to other people in the U.S., and so... Yeah.
Sorry. I feel really bad about it.
And we're doing our best to learn some Cantonese. Cantonese is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
For those, we'll just give you a really quick rundown of Cantonese. So Mandarin and Cantonese are both Chinese languages, and they're like in the same family, but they're different.
Yeah.
And Mandarin has 4 or 5 tones. So a lot of the Asian languages, the tone of your voice makes the word mean something different. That's so foreign to me.
So I was like, how do they sing?
Yeah,
I don't know how singing works.
How singing works. That's good. That's true.
I don't know.
So when you hear people speak English from an Asian language, and they have this accent that kind of the tone it seems very choppy. It's because they're speaking the English words in the tone that they would speak. Like, to me, it gave me a whole different perspective and understanding and appreciation for the people that are speaking English from an Asian language, because I get their accent. Yeah, hi guys. So we, Cantonese has 9 different tones. So it's even more complex and more difficult. So we know some Cantonese phrases, but I don't think that we pronounce them correctly.
Probably not. Joseon is good morning.
Good morning.
Manhon is good afternoon or good evening. And then
Jotao is
good night.
I know hello.
Hello, what's hello?
Hello.
And they say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Which I thought was just an English phrase. They were just using an English phrase, but it's really not. It's like B-A-I, or something like that. It's really bye-bye is how it's pronounced, but it's a Cantonese.
And
Ngoy.
which is excuse me.
That's like
or
excuse
ngoy.
me, or
I don't know
please,
how to
or thank you. Like if somebody does something for you, then they say ngoy. But if you need somebody to get out of your way, you also say ngoy. So if you're on the left side of the elevator standing still, that might be what you hear is ngoy. Or the people pushing carts through the street, trying to get through. Yeah.
Ngoy. Yes.
Very, very.
So we are learning a little bit, but we're not very good at it. So do not take this as a Cantonese lesson at all, because we're not very good at that.
Okay, the last thing I had on here, which I don't really understand, maybe it's a cultural thing, maybe it's this side of the world thing, I don't know. But when people take pictures, they don't just take pictures. They just don't pose, put their arm out with the phone and just take a little selfie. No, there is posing going on.
And you have a photographer.
Yeah,
like
and
you have a friend with you taking the picture for you.
Exactly. I mean, and you got to make sure your hair is right, and you have to have the right pose and the
Granted,
right look.
this is a specific generation.
It's like I don't know if all these people are just Instagram stars that I'm not aware of, but I mean it is so. I mean, you get frustrated, especially when we're at like Disneyland or something, and people are taking all these pictures by some whatever you take a picture by this Mickey thing or whatever, and the people who take the picture stand so far back. It's like they're trying to get this whole thing and
you don't want to be in the picture.
You don't want to walk through, but you don't want to stand there for 5 minutes while this person is posing, taking 6 or 7, different poses or shots or something. And I'm like...
And that may just be a generational thing. That may be a thing in the U.S. and we just missed it somehow because we're not hanging around.
I really noticed... Because even not older, but people probably our age are very much, I think, doing this, and it's not just...
Or their WeChat and their Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we missed something, but yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, just walking down the street, or even, and it's not just like, we were going somewhere, I think it was when we were going to Disneyland the last time, we're on the train, and, a lot of people have cameras that they take to Disney World, not just your phone, but an actual camera. But there was this group of people beside us, and they were taking pictures on the train, and then they were talking in another language, so I didn't know exactly what they were saying, but she said something like, okay, I could tell she said something like, okay, now look out the window, because he turned to look out the window and had like this thought, like this pensive thought on his face.
It's very staged.
Yeah, and it's just, staging is a perfect word. They staged their photos to the T here, and I just thought that was really funny and just something that really stood out since being here. So yeah. Those are some of our big ones. Lots of people travel and go to other countries and visit other countries and take pictures there. If you go to Chim Cha Chui, TST, you walk down the street, you're going to be handed all these. If they see a Westerner, they're going to give you, hey, you want a tailor? You need a tailor?
Yes.
I'm like, I'm walking down the street with the backwards hat on. I got athletic shorts on and a t-shirt. Do I look like I need a tailor? Do I look like somebody who's going to be wearing a suit anytime soon?
Maybe they're trying to get him to wear a suit.
I don't know.
That's just lots of tailors in TST. The schools. Did you talk about the schools?
We didn't talk about the schools. Housing obviously is very expensive here. Most people just rent an apartment. It's very rare that you would actually own, I think,
a house.
A house or an apartment, really. If you want to own a house, you're going to have to get way out in this where there's land, and
even
you're going to be paying a lot of money for a house. Very expensive.
We've maybe only passed and seen, since we've been here, a handful of houses.
Yeah. And those are way out.
Yeah, they're way out, and you can tell that they are very expensive.
Yes. Yes. And schools.
And the schools. So the way the school system here works, I'm not 100% on this when it comes to the public schools, but a lot of people send their kids. A lot of expats send their kids to international school. You have to be accepted into the school, and then I think with the public schools, your kid gets sent to a specific school. And then you move to that area. Your kids can go to different schools in different areas. It's not like, oh, you live in this area, so you're going to go to this school. It's not like that. So it's I don't understand it all. And then they, the kids have to interview, at 2.
Yeah. Some friends at church are talking about how their kid had to, not interview, answer questions. I don't think. I think it's just some interaction with the person from the school and seeing how that kid interacts with you and how they respond to questions or how they play with toys or others or something like that.
I think some of it is testing.
Even
for the little bitty kids. And they bring home homework. Like, some of our friends were talking about, they have a 2-year-old, and she was bringing homework home every night. She had homework.
Yeah.
She's 2.
They don't play around.
They don't at all. And everybody plays an instrument. Like, that's a big cultural thing. You learn
really?
an instrument.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who was telling me that. But yes, yeah. So they all play an instrument. They grow up learning, but they're not expected to go into the music, like a musical field. They just learn it because they think that it's important for you to learn how to play an instrument. Yeah. So. Very cool. Those are our big, nothing. Our observations, I say. Nothing crazy. Nothing that has been, you know, I mean, there have been a few things where we're like, wow, that's interesting, or that's weird, or that's different. But it's nothing that's been too crazy. But we've really enjoyed getting to know Hong Kong and getting to know the culture and see the differences. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Yeah, and hit us up. We'll respond. If we don't have an answer, we can find one for you. So. Yeah. So, all right. That's all we got. Bye, guys. Hope to see you next time on our next video. Yes. Keep up over the next couple weeks as we're updating. We're updating Facebook with the videos that were already on YouTube, and then we'll still continue to upload new videos to both. Yes. So. Every Tuesday and Thursday we have new videos. So, see you guys later. Bye. Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell.